Are you stuck at chess? Learn about weak squares. Once you spot them, finding the best moves becomes easy. It's one of the most important positional concepts every player must know to improve in chess. First, let's understand what a weak square actually is. It's simply a square which cannot be controlled by an enemy pawn. Have a look at this square. Can this be controlled by any of black's pawns? The answer is no, which is why it's a weak square. Now I want you to look at this square. Is this a weak square in the white camp? The answer is no, because even if black's pawns are attacking this square, white's pawn is still defending it. So by our definition, it's not a weak square. But you might be thinking, what's the use in knowing whether a square is weak or not? How can I actually use it in a game to help me win it? Well, let me explain. You can put your pieces on weak squares in order to control your opponent. Here white went for the move knight to d5, attacking the black queen. After the black queen moved away, we see how this knight is dominating the black camp. It might look like it's just standing there, but in reality, it controls this, this, so many squares in the black camp. And the best part is, it cannot even be attacked or kicked away at all. None of black's pieces except this queen can actually attack this knight, which is why it will stay here forever. Here white went for the move rook to h1 and then played pawn to h4 in order to open up the h file, which will help in attacking the black king. Let's say black wanted to play rook c7 in order to defend the 7th rank. Well, guess what? Look at this knight. It's doing an amazing job of controlling the enemy. A few moves later, we see how the king is in trouble because this rook is joining and the knight is doing a phenomenal job in restricting black's pieces. Let's move on to another example. In this position, the player playing with the black pieces played pawn to b4. His opponent said, "Why are you pushing your pawns forward randomly? What's that move supposed to do?" And instantly captured. After pawn takes, black knew that the game was winning because of this outpost on the d4 square. If you look at this position, it may look very normal. However, if you evaluate based upon the weak squares, look at all this. White's position has many weak squares. Black took advantage of that. Knight to d4. It attacks this pawn and maybe can threaten the king in the future. After queen f2, the rook went to the a3 square. Already, this knight is creating problems. After white had to play rook to b1, do you see how these rooks are very inactive while all of black's pieces look active? Then the b8 rook went to the f8 square, and then came the queen. Look at black's pieces and compare them to white's pieces. White's pieces are controlling very less squares. The reason is that they are not advanced. Look who's attacking here. It's black. The reason is all of white's pieces are restricted by, guess who? This knight on the outpost square, which is a weak square, d4. Maybe black can go knight to f3 in the coming moves or can apply more pressure. Already, black is threatening to take the b3 pawn. This game was absolutely nuts. Bobby Fischer was playing with the black pieces. He was a former world champion. His opponent played d4 and Fischer brought his knight out. After c6, planning to attack in the center, a trade took place. Then Fischer's bishop went to the g7 square from where it controlled this long diagonal. In a few moves, both sides were castled and almost all pieces were developed. Here, do you see any huge weak squares? I don't think so. This and this square may look weak, and many players would actually play bishop to f5 and just put their knight on the e4 square, but that's not the best plan because white can simply go f3, kicking the knight away. This is not a weak square. Even b3 can be played, kicking any piece which comes here. Now black played b6 and put the bishop on this long diagonal. Now white didn't expect it, but after rook e8 and a trade of pawns, Can you tell which square is weak in the white camp? I'll give you 5 seconds. You are correct. It is the d3 square. It's not being defended by any pawns. However, on the other hand, these two pieces, the bishop and the knight, are coordinating to occupy the square, perhaps in the future. Remember, if a square is weak, like let's say in this position, you can say that this square is weak, right? The c6 square, because it can't be defended by any of black's pawns. Even if it is a weak square, if the opponent cannot reach the square, or if the opponent cannot put any pieces on the square, then it's actually not that weak. Do you think white can put any piece on c6 in the near future? No, because maybe black's bishop will come here, black's rooks can trade off, right? Now black played knight to d3. See how this knight is controlling the white position. If white wants to play rook a c1 in order to control this c file, that's not possible due to this legendary knight. After queen c2, you will never guess what Fischer played here. He noticed that white's king was looking a bit lonely and he had great control over this diagonal. So what did he do? The move played was knight captures f2, attacking this rook. But won't the white king just take the knight like in the game? Even the commentators here thought that white was losing because, black was losing, Fischer was losing because he's just a knight down. But then he played knight g4. Can you find the weak square here? Guess what? This time it's not a weak square. It's a weak pawn, which cannot be defended by any other pawns, and Fischer immediately captured, forking the rook and the queen. But after queen d2, he didn't even bother to capture the rook. He captured the bishop near the king. Now we see the power of the two bishops which possess open diagonals. d4 was played, clearing the a8 h1 diagonal, and after knight takes bishop b7, the king moved to f1, and Fischer played queen d7, ending the game on the spot. White here resigned the game. But why? Well, if you try to defend with queen f2, queen to h3 is played. Now maybe white thought that, maybe some players will think that white is safe here. But rook to e1 ends the game on the spot, sacrificing the rook in two different ways. If the queen takes, queen g2 is checkmate, but if the rook takes, bishop takes, winning the queen. The queen can take because of queen to g2 checkmate. This is how Fischer used weak squares to his advantage. In this video, you learnt how to use weak squares to your advantage. Thanks for watching. Train to win. Bye.